Welcome back. This is still the Polity. Right now, we're delving into the issue of the labor strike and how it's affecting things across the nation. I'm still on with Dr. Suleiman Abdullahi. He is a policy analyst. All right, let's talk quickly about your reaction. What do you make of the ongoing strike, the serious compliance in some states like Edo, Bauchi, Osun, Kogi, Imo, others, partial strike in others like Oyo, Ondo, Kaduna, Benue, Ogun? What's your take on all of this and the federal government's response that perhaps the labor is taking issues too personal in terms of the attack on Joe Ajero, and also saying that there is a subsisting court order that stops them from going on strikes? All of these issues, what do you make about it?
If you look at this labor strike, I think labor, they are exercising their right as citizens of this country, and they are asking a particular question that needs an answer from the government. Up till now, as I speak with you, the government have not made a clear statement about palliative measures that have direct impact on the people. All we are still experiencing today is the increase of food commodities, fuel in the filling station. All services today, the prices are being increased by 100%. Where the cost of transportation before is 500 naira, today, Mr. Amadin, is 1,002. What are we talking? What is the engagement of the government? Has the government sit down with the labor and discuss with them the way forward in the interest of what? Of the citizen? In the interest of the worker? The answer is still no. From my own residence to here is about 30 kilometers. But if it will cost me to fuel my car with 10,000 naira to here, I think it's better I go by public transport. That will cost me 4,000. But still yet, it will have been better for me to manage my affairs with my car for my comfort, for my speed limits, for my engagement, social status to your office here. But I have been forced to enter the public. I sat down in the front very close to a mechanic that stained my cloth. I have no option. But that wouldn't be my expectation. So are you telling me to pay ×2 from one point to the other instead of me paying 500 naira and I have to pay 1,000 for 2 people, for 2 seats? If it is my car, I'll be very much comfortable and it will be within my cycle, my operation. But let me tell you, the government is not engaging labor. There is no fruitful discussion. We have not had any meaningful outcome about their discussion with labor. I think from May 29 to now, at this point, you are talking of good 4 months and 3. So let's assess this government.
All right, but let's take a quick look at some of the demands by labor. You are speaking of the national issues now, but let's read some of them out. Our demands: arrest and prosecute, dismiss all police officers involved in brutalization of NLC president and workers in Imo State, arrest and prosecute all thugs that attacked the NLC president, investigate and prosecute Imo State's commissioner, arrest and prosecute and dismiss the police area command that led to brutalization, and so on and so forth. We're not seeing a lot of demands here about fuel subsidy and so on, and I believe this is the issue of the federal government. In your opinion, is it enough to attempt to shut down the nation due to an attack on the president of the Labour Congress?
I will tell you.
Is it a case of injury to one, injury to all?
Let me tell you, it's a capital no. Because if you look at the instrument of governance and the legal framework of Nigerian Constitution, you must be an abiding and respected. We're talking about patriotism here, whereby you must respect rules and order. If the court has said NLC, you should not go on strike, on demonstration, then the law enforcement agency here have the right to execute, you understand now, the order given by the court. and they are all instruments of governance. But when we are talking of fundamental human rights, we see labor have the human right to exercise their feeling on the street peacefully, without any destruction, any form of destruction. If we look at it, looking at this issue from what? From our constitution, if the court has really made a pronouncement, so for the NLC to come on the street and demonstrate, it's wrong. That is number one. They are not respecting our legal institution. Number two, the police have the right to stamp on them because the court has made their pronouncement. If the court has made their pronouncement, look, labor don't go on strike or demonstration, you can go for an appeal. Till the day you get it right, you come out.
You know, this is an interesting part of the conversation. The president of the TUC speaking the other day said that, you know, tried to make the comparison that the government itself doesn't obey court orders, and so why should they? And that the government owns the judiciary. So they, what do you make of that kind of rhetoric?
The two wrong make a right? The answer is capital no. You have no issue as a labor, as a body that is representing the interest of what? The entire national workers. You understand now? Across the federal level and state level, you have one right. Show good example. Your leadership quality must be an exemplary one. And it should be an astute one that your followers will learn from you and copy and say, look, this is how we used to engage the government. Not by violence, not by brutality, not by disobeying court orders. No, even if the government is doing the wrong thing, will you follow suit and do the wrong thing? But let me tell you, now, you said the government is doing the wrong thing. The government is telling you, we constituted what? The institutions. And if the institutions are not doing what we ask them to do, you understand now, we can violate the institution. We can go against the institution because we make the institution. Or also in the interest of the people. We can't have breakdown of law and order.
What institution are you referring to?
The institutions, the legal institutions, the court.
Yeah, but the executive should also be bound by the courts, the judiciary.
That is what I'm telling you. The executive can tell you that, look, the law is made for the people and it could be bent for the people. What am I saying? Is here that, look, why do we say we have to temper justice with mercy? All these are a soft landing for people when you have legal issues. So here, what we are saying, if a court should pass a judgment that the government feels that, oh, this judgment, you understand now, is not within the framework of what we guarantee the sovereignty of this nation, the security of this nation, you understand now, the executive can write officially to the judiciary, we are not going to act on this for so reason.
That's against the law. They don't have that right.
Look, they don't have that right.
The executive, just as the common man is bound by the law, the president is also bound by the law.
Let me tell you, the president is bound by the law.
And if the president doesn't respect the law, assuming in an hypothetical situation,
I'm not saying the government. I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about institutions now. What forms the government? The individuals, the executives, and the legislatives, understand now. That is why sometimes you need to go back and review your legal structures, the constitutions. You look at every law. How is it? How do you repeal this? And how do you amend it? How do you bring new ones? So this is what we are saying. If there is clash of interest between what the judiciary, the executive, and legislators, then now that shows some laws are not working. We need to look at it and restructure it or reform it.
Well, that means the due process should still be followed.
It should be followed.
I think you got it right the first time. Two wrongs don't make it right. Even if it is said or reported that the government doesn't follow court orders, it is not
a right for that
orders to do that. So I thank you so much for speaking on the issue and for coming once again. It's always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All right, that is how we end the program today. Don't forget, the Polity reaches you live from Abuja every weekday, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Tomorrow, Messi Babajide will be joining you to handle the program. Thank you so much for being with us. Thanks for being with us throughout the program. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. I am Amadin Ogbewe.